أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. These are the Ramadan Daily Quran Studies for the year 2025, written by Zahid Aziz and produced by Ahmadiyya Anjuman Ishaat Islam, Lahore, UK.
Study 25. Prophet Muhammad does justice to his enemies. The Holy Prophet was an embodiment of the following teaching given to all Muslims.
ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم أن صدوكم عن المسجد الحرام أن تعتدوا وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان واتقوا الله إن الله شديد العقاب.
And do not let hatred of a people, because they hindered you from the sacred mosque, incite you to transgress. And help one another in righteousness and piety. And do not help one another in sin and aggression. And keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is severe in retribution. Chapter 5, verse 2.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون.
O you who believe, be upright for Allah, bearers of witness with justice, and do not let hatred of a people incite you not to act equitably. Be just, that is nearer to observance of duty, and keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is aware of what you do. Chapter 5, verse 8. Notice that this teaching of not letting your hatred of another people make you act unjustly towards them is repeated within the space of 6 verses. Moreover, it is in verses revealed at a very late date in the Holy Prophet's mission. No one can claim that this teaching was only given to Muslims at an earlier date, and when Muslims later became stronger, it was cancelled. As to helping one another in good and not helping one another in bad, unfortunately, many Muslims today are reluctant to help one another in doing good works, but are only too happy to assist and join in with those from their community who are acting wrongly. At the end of the first verse quoted above, it says, "And keep your duty to Allah. Surely Allah is severe in retribution." This clearly shows that it is a grave and punishable sin in the eyes of Allah if Muslims violate these teachings by 1. Treating their enemies unjustly due to feelings of hatred for them, 2. Not cooperating with one another in good due to mutual jealousy, 3. Helping each other in doing wrong due to misplaced loyalty to one's own community. The Holy Prophet Muhammad acted on the above teaching most scrupulously, as indicated in the following verse.
سماعون للكذب أكالون للسحت فإن جاءوك فاحكم بينهم أو أعرض عنهم وإن تعرض عنهم فلن يضروك شيئا وإن حكمت فاحكم بينهم بالقسط إن الله يحب المقسطين.
Listeners, for the sake of a lie, devourers of forbidden things, so if they come to you, O Prophet, judge between them or turn away from them, And if you turn away from them, they cannot harm you at all. And if you judge, judge between them with equity. Surely Allah loves the equitable. Chapter 5, verse 42. The people referred to here are some of the Jews of Medina. When the Holy Prophet arrived in Medina, an agreement was drawn up between the various nationalities of Medina by which he was to judge all disputes. This included judging disputes between the Jews themselves by the standards of their own religious scriptures. But later, the Jews became hostile to the Holy Prophet, so God allowed him the choice of whether to judge between them or refuse to do so. But in case he judged between them, he is still told to judge with equity. To be equitable, despite their severe enmity, shows that the Holy Prophet had reached the highest point of moral uprightness and integrity to which a human being can attain. An example of the Holy Prophet doing justice, even when the verdict of justice favoured his enemy and went against his own followers, is given in the next verses.
إنا أنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق لتحكم بين الناس بما أراك الله ولا تكن للخائنين خصيما واستغفر الله إن الله كان غفورا رحيما ولا تجادل عن الذين يختانون أنفسهم إن الله لا يحب من كان خوانا أثيما.
Surely we have revealed the book to you with truth, that you may judge between people by means of what Allah has taught you. And do not be one pleading the cause of the dishonest, and ask the forgiveness of Allah. Surely Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. And do not contend on behalf of those who act unfaithfully to their souls. Surely Allah does not love him who is treacherous, sinful. Chapter 4, verses 105 to 107. What this is referring to is that there was once a dispute between a Muslim and a Jew, in which judgment was given by the Holy Prophet against the Muslim. A Muslim had stolen something, and when he was suspected of the theft, he hid the stolen item in a Jew's house and accused the Jew of the theft. The whole of the Muslim's tribe supported him. The Holy Prophet came to realize that the Jew was innocent, so despite the open enmity of the Jews, he cleared the Jew of the charge. It was a time when every Muslim hand was desperately needed for the defense of Islam, and a verdict against a man supported by his whole tribe meant the loss of that tribe to Islam. But such considerations did not carry any weight with the Holy Prophet. These verses lay down the broad principle that dishonesty must be punished, whomever commits it, and the balance of justice must be held equal between Muslims and non-Muslims, and between your friends and your foes. End of study 25.
Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Quranil Azim wa nafa'na wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikril hakim innahu ta'ala jiwadun karimun malikun barurur rahim.